I'm Chris from Play Comics, a show where we look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material, a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other astonishingly geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Erica Schultz, and this is Capes on the Couch, where comics get counseling.
Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.
Hello and welcome to Capes on the Couch, where comics get counseling. I'm Anthony Sitko.
And I'm Dr. Issues.
We are back with another Creators on the Couch episode, and we are joined once again for the 11th time. I have legitimately lost track at this point of how many appearances our friends Alan and Will are back on the show to talk about the latest Kickstarter for Pocus Hocus number 6. And right now we've got Alan Dunford in the studio with us. And will be joining us momentarily. So, Alan, good to see you as always, my friend.
Oh, listen, it feels like it's been forever since I, just looked at these two beautiful mugs. So it's always just so great to be back. And it's been longer for Will, so I can't wait for him to jump on here. Yeah, Will is currently doing that thing that we all have to do, and that's called working. So he's on his way home now. He got held up a little bit.
Yeah. Damn the man.
Oh, I can totally relate because...
Oh, Doc, your phone is like on your hip while we're doing this.
I was going to say, yeah. I actually, that's not even a joke. I am on call, so
yeah,
it may happen, and it has happened before. So.
Oh, it will. Listen, it wouldn't be an issue of Capes on the Couch if I were on here and you weren't on call.
It's very true. Very true. Doc is always busy helping save the lives of so many people, and we are incredibly grateful for that.
I'm not. He hasn't saved my life yet. What has he done for me?
What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 dun.
What have I done?
Ouch.
Oh man. So my friend, how have you been?
Man, been great. Just been busy, and we're so excited to have Pocus back. I feel like it's been forever. Like the original plan was to alternate between Pocus and Grandma, which in theory is a great idea. However, we know that there's a bigger story to tell with Pocus than there was with Grandma. And we always knew going in that Grandma was just going to be 4 issues, right? So originally, like I said, it was like back, forth. But then we were like, you know what? We're so close to finishing Grandma. Let's just go ahead and have a full completed series under our belt. And let's shove a cat up Anthony's ass. So, we really had to go in for that. But yeah, man, no, it's so good because Pocus was the series that started it all off for us, and it's great to feel like we're back to formula with it.
That's fantastic, and book number 6, the Kickstarter is live. I saw it. I think I happened to be on Twitter just randomly, and you had just posted that the Kickstarter went live like that day.
That's funny.
And I was like, oh, perfect.
Oh.
I get to be a day one backer.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get a fancy little tarot card for doing that too.
That's awesome. Can't wait to talk about it some more. And certainly, when Will jumps on, we'll get his feedback as well. So Pocus 6, obviously we are in the thick of things.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
we are thick and tired, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocus is I don't think it's too much of a spoiler especially since it's on the Kickstarter page.
Mm-hmm. It's very hard this point.
Yeah, we can't really talk about what has happened and what's to come without getting into some spoilers.
Correct.
But the chapter is called The Death of Pocus Hocus. So
that's that. Yep.
Yeah, all right. See you guys. Yeah, it was a fun ride.
That was cool. All right, cool. So it ends with 6. Sweet. All right. Well, it's been fun. It's been real. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious though, because I literally right before we jumped on recording, I grabbed my trade of book 1 just to refresh myself.
That is.
It is.
Yep, it is
gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's a gorgeous, rainbow hologram covered tome.
That really just made me so happy looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, you did this. You created this. I'm holding it in my hands, but you wrote this. That's friggin' awesome. I'm trying to talk about the story without too many spoilers for what's to come. Right. But Pocus he's in some deep doo-doo at this point.
Yeah. Pocus is in some deep doo-doo. So for those of you who are new to the series, Pocus Hocus follows the story of a magician named Pocus Hocus who sold a soul to the devil. Well, not to the devil, I guess I should say. He sold a soul to a demon to have actual magic powers. And this is like, I love Faustian tales so much. And I'm speaking for Will with this too. We wanted to really make our own twist on one. And that's kind of how this came to be. So after Pocus sells a soul, years later, he comes to regret that decision, and then he wants it back. So we literally have to go through hell to get the thing. And this
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, has just been
primarily literally.
Oh yeah, definitely literally. But yeah, this has just been such a fun ride for us. We've been just enjoying it every step of the way. But where we are now, we find out that the demon that Pocus sold a soul to, we really wanted to do a play on demons having gambling problems. So the demon that Pocus sold a soul to actually doesn't have the soul anymore. He only had it for like 5 minutes because he just bet it away immediately and lost it. And throughout the cycle, it ended up in the hands of our big demon that actually has Pocus' soul. Her name's Lily. And it's our journey now to go fight this actual evil creature, because like with our demon, he was lovable. He was lovably evil, and he's just stupid, but he's fun. But Lily, she's just mean. And I can't wait till we get into the issue where we actually get to go into her more, because she was one that we wanted to get right whenever we were fleshing out her backstory. But yeah, so that's where we are. We're caught up. We're at the event now where issue 5, and we even show this in the preview, issue 5 ends with Emily being captured by Lily's right-hand man. And now Emily's going to have a choice on what she needs to do to try to make sure that everyone makes it out alive.
Yeah, and they certainly take it seriously.
Yeah. I promise this book's actually way funnier than what I'm making it out to be, because right now it sounds like a total bummer.
See, I don't think it's a bummer. I think it's going to be, as they often are, this hilarious and roller coaster, emotionally speaking, of a story that you weave the horror and the humor so well together. You walk that tightrope.
Well, thank you.
And it is not an easy thing to do. And again, just refreshing myself on the story through the first couple of issues before we started, I was like, man, this is just damn good writing.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah.
My question is, because we like to focus on some of the psychology of the characters here. And so Pocus, as has been stated numerous times in the series, is doing this, or at least started off with all this, seeking the approval of his father, that he was never really going to get it. And his father says at the end of book 4, and it's not really spoilers at this point, like, I wanted you to follow your heart because your heart wasn't in magic.
Yeah.
It's like, whoops.
Are we ever going to kind of explore perhaps what his passion would have been or could have been?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, we knew what Pocus is. Well, we as in Will and myself, we knew what Pocus really wanted to do since day one.
Wow.
And it's funny. Like, don't get your hopes up. But yeah, it was one of those things. I think Will was the one that actually created that. And it was like, yeah, dude, we have to use that because it's so stupid, but it just works so well. Yeah, because that's the big thing, right? And it's what Pocus really wants to do is going to play in a lot with other character arcs too. Because we still want the story to keep going even after this arc. As long as people are reading it, hey, we'll keep writing the thing, because we already have it mapped out for 12 issues. And again, it's just one of those, like, as long as people are reading, Will and I will we'll keep trying to hammer this thing out because we're just having too much fun with it.
Yeah, this actually does have a very deep underlying thing that I've been thinking about for a long time now, and that's purpose. Like just the idea of what keeps you going.
Right.
And yeah, we initially, we get the idea that it's his dad, and it's like, okay, so his soul is not nearly as important as following that path. And then, okay, well, that's not going to work. All right. Well, what about the people around him? Well, yeah, they're willing to make a lot of sacrifices.
So, Doc, I love that you said that because that's actually what this issue focuses on. This issue focuses on his decision to sell his soul and to rope Emily in, his assistant, and how this is affecting her now too, and the extra responsibility that it plays on him. Because in our preview pages, it was kind of hard to hide it because it's the first, 6 pages of the book, and we really wanted our caller palette to show off that decision too. Emily is in collar while she's in hell because she has her soul and it still makes her special. But in those preview pages, Emily is black and white now because she sold her soul to try to save Pocus. And as you guys can see in the preview pages, Pocus dies. So it's one of those, the deal was held up. Pocus survived that attack that they had, but that doesn't mean he had to live afterward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we really get to see, we get to kind of see the consequences of that. And I think the payoff for that is going to be a lot of fun.
Understood.
Okay. All right. Now you said you have this planned out for at least 12 issues, but there is the potential for more?
Yeah, definitely. Like with a book like Grandma Chainsaw, we knew that the story existed in a vacuum because we didn't want the story to wear out its welcome. Like as much fun as we were having with it, we also didn't want it to get too long in the tooth, right? So we had a beginning, middle, end. Okay, cool. That's it. We're done. Yeah, we can always do something crazy and potentially bring the story back maybe at some point. But just telling a cohesive story made sense for us with that. But with Pocus Hocus, with fantasy, like the way that we're trying to do it and like the different dimensions of hell and all this stuff, there's so much we can do. So the sky's the limit with this kind of stuff. And that's what makes me really happy about telling these kinds of stories, especially just because I just love it.
That's cool, man. And I love, again, the world building and the care that's put into some of these characters. And we'll get into Horus a little bit later. We can talk about him because that's its whole
other thing. Yeah,
it's its own thing. Very excited and looking forward to where Horus is going to go from here.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you guys about that with Will because we have Horus mapped out pretty far too.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Will, get your ass in here, man. Come on.
I know. Yeah, he should. I would think that he should be here just about any minute now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair. But what else was I going to say? Well, the other question I had about Emily, and I don't remember if we ever really got into this discussion in any one of the prior episodes talking about the series, but what is really her motivation to stay with Pocus? I mean, I know she wants to be the assistant. She wants to learn magic and everything, but it seems like she's gone awfully far for a boss. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but if my boss was going to hell, it'd be like, peace out. I'm good. You boo boo. I'm out.
So
I'm not getting dragged into this mess. So she's really a dedicated employee.
Yeah, she's definitely employee of the year. So I can't say a lot about that because that's a big plot point for issue 7 and 8.
Okay.
Yeah, because we really find out who and why Emily is working the way that she is, right? And Emily's backstory was actually something that we really finally had hammered down about issue 3 because we wanted to make sure we gave her weight. But on the surface right now, Emily, her motivation is kind of guilt. And that comes from in issue 2 when she helped Pocus walk someone into this giant chamber so that they could sell their soul unknowingly, right?
Yeah.
So now Emily's like, you made me do this. You didn't tell me what was going on, and we just did something awful.
Yep.
So that was kind of the motivation there for Emily to be like, nope, we have to fix this. Like, this is just too much.
Okay. So, I mean, I do definitely understand that part of it, but I still kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't,
Mhm.
if I got unwittingly dragged into something like that, I would still say, you know, you got to fix this because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And, I may feel like crap, but it's not my responsibility to fix it. And we talk all the time on the show, it's not your fault, but it is your problem. I would say this isn't my fault and it's not my problem.
Yeah. No,
So you straighten it out. I'm going to wait here topside and keep things.
But that implies, you know what? And that is the common thing with most sidekicks. And I will give the example of Inspector Gadget. Penny doesn't wait on anybody. She knew, like, okay, this guy may have all this stuff that he could do, but he needs me because I am the practical brains of this operation, even if he doesn't know it.
Right.
And I always got that vibe with her and Pocus.
Yeah.
So
and we wanted Emily to be like the only good character, like you got Pocus, who is he's flawed. And then you have the demon who's flawed. And then we have Horus, and I like to think Horus is our pure little evil bunny.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll get in the Horus whenever we talk to Will. But yeah, it's just, Emily is just, I wanted Emily to really just be the reader, like this is what happens when you're thrown into something like this, and they can relate to her.
Okay. That's fair, and hearing it that way, I understand it. I was just, like I said, coming at it from the perspective of, I'm not sticking my neck out for my boss.
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude,
Nothing.
no way. Yeah, corporate America does not love me that much, I don't think.
Yeah.
That's why it's called work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand about labor and all that, but no, not going that far. Oof. So, gosh, I mean, there's so many things I still want to ask about, but I want to wait for Will to come on so he can provide his feedback.
Yeah.
You want to we'll take a quick pause. You want to shoot him a text, whatever? Alan?
So we can go ahead and pause here. That's fine.
Hey, this is Ken M.
Padawan J.
Coach Duffy from the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour podcast. Every week, the ODPH is talking sports, movies, TV, comics, and more. It's always a parlay of topics on each episode. You can find the ODPH on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and wherever you find great podcasts, such as the one you're listening to right now. Don't forget to check out OchoDuroParlayHour.com, where you can find the links to all of the ODPH social media accounts, links to the bands whose music you hear each week on the show, hashtag 607 podcast info, and parlay points, our companion blog section of the show. Thanks for listening to the ODPH. Now get back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
So now we're back from our little hiatus, and we are joined by Will Radford, co-writer and co-creator of Pocus. Will, thanks for joining us. Apologies for starting without you.
Thanks so much. Sorry, I was a little late.
Well, just said thank you guys for starting with that.
Well, like some of us don't understand the concept of work. So,
That's okay. I don't either, really. It's still a mystery to me, but doing my best. I have a job now that's a lot better than my last gig, so I'm pretty happy.
That's really good to hear.
Yes, all right. Yes, it is. Despite my haggard appearance, things are
looking up.
pretty well. Yeah, they are. They're looking up. I just need to shave, really, really bad.
Yeah, I get that too. I reach a point where I only shave about once a week because I just get tired of it.
Yeah.
So we talked to Alan real fast. How are you doing otherwise?
Great. Yeah, this is my favorite time of year. I'm excited about that and making things better. We have the seasonal appropriate comic book to go on with that. So that's very exciting. It hit me when this campaign was being launched that it was, so close to Halloween and how great that was. And I think, Alan, if I'm not mistaken, my days and everything in my head just gets muddled together anymore. I believe what they say about old age and memory. That's 100% happening to me.
Yeah.
But I think we said the first Pocus Hocus was the campaign was launched Was it no, or we finished it in October, right? The issue.
No, I think we actually finished it on your birthday.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how I equate it. I
Okay.
remember we finished it on your birthday, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Maybe we started.
We started writing Pocus 1 in October.
in October. That's what it was. Okay.
We started writing it in October, and then
Okay.
we felt comfortable enough to launch the campaign.
Well, I
and it
knew
ended
there
on your
was.
birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was an October date in there somewhere because for whatever reason, I just remembered the title page of the first issue with our names on it, and at the draft
Yeah.
edition was like October 20.
Yeah, because that's when we
2020.
were 2020. That's when we were working on it. Yeah.
Louise, man.
Yeah, 4 years ago, dude. We
Ooh,
started
that
this
is
sprint.
absolutely crazy. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is
Yeah, man.
nuts.
So we talked about Emily. We talked about Pocus. We talked very briefly. We touched on Horus, and I kind of wanted to wait for you to get back to talk about Horus. Lilith. I want to get into or Lily.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Lily legs. Lily. Sorry, I just whenever I hear.
All right. Remember, edit that out.
Oh no,
Save
I'm losing
yourself
the
the
Blazing Saddles
embarrassment.
reference.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's classic.
Lily
Nah,
Von
man.
Stupp, come on now.
Yeah.
So we're really kind of seeing that she is definitely not to be trifled with.
right.
And I know, Will, before you got on, Alan mentioned that basically you have everything mapped out to at least issue 12.
Mhm.
Is there an upcoming issue that is going to be very Lilith/Lily centric? Or is it the type of thing where we're going to learn more about her in, bits and pieces as the issues come out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both questions. Actually, no, I think
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, no, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit. There will I can't, especially with this particular plot thread. There's a lot I can't say, just because I don't, spoilers and all that. But yeah, there is a big arc with her that's coming up
Okay.
that Alan and I have talked about for a long time, and it's something that when we started talking about it and the direction that was going to go, we were moving in a direction that was actually a little bit out of our comfort zone. Just in terms of like the emotional and I guess psychological depth there that's kind of established. So it's something that we've really been kind of mulling around for a while, and we want to get right. And it is kind of a risk, but at this point I feel like we know it enough now to where it's not, or it's an appropriate risk. And I think people will be very, very, very happy with her arc and where that story goes and how she connects to the other players in the universe.
Now I'm thinking about it, Will. Her and Emily's arc kind of mirror each other.
Yeah,
In a little bit of a way.
That's what I was a little hesitant to say.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, and I think it's really it's going to be good for the reader to kind of see how we blend those two together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, I have to bring this up because part of the reason why I got interested in this after Anthony introduced the whole Pocus Hocus thing to me in the first place was the first issue and seeing the demon for the first time. And I'm like, oh, this is incredible. And I know I've mentioned this in other ways too, especially with Grandma Chainsaw. I'm like, thank you guys for going down a path that I think I'm on, and then like it just takes its own turns and stuff. And at this point, the demon, like I just get this feel of like, wow, you oafish, clumsy, just like haphazard. Like,
yeah, that's the great thing about that character is because the minute actually that we started talking about. Well, I keep forgetting in interviews I could say his name now. It's like,
yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's fine.
We couldn't
Yeah,
talk.
it's fine.
Hugo, we couldn't talk about it.
yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I feel like introducing that name, finally after it was the suspenseful build-up, sort of also opened up a completely new door to his character. Because up until that point, he is an enigma, and then you hear the name Hugo, and you're like, okay, well, a character named Hugo, not necessarily a character named Hugo can't be all that bad, but there's a personality there that's really different than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And in our minds, he was always that. But we knew that, you can only reveal so much in a single issue. And we had this, storyline and structure for it, and it just worked out really nicely. And I think that it contributed to the element of surprise, like you're talking about, the way that it subverts expectations as it goes along. Although not too much. You want to stay faithful to the spirit of it, but that's one thing I think we pride ourselves on, is that we want to do something that's just not boring, that people can't, always predict or isn't always the typical road to go down.
Right.
So
that was something too that we talked about, because they do guess the demon's name, because that's the whole deal. If he has to guess the demon's name so he gets the soul back. And, before we actually named Hugo in the book itself, he kind of had this, like, when you put God, how do they word it? When you actually put a name to something, then you fear it. You don't really fear it as much, right?
That's right.
So, we just called him the demon, and it was just evil character that we had. Yeah, he was still kind of silly, but it was like, man, he still kind of has Pocus by the balls, right? But then as soon as we reveal his name and we find out that he didn't even have the soul, we wanted that weight drop. We wanted it to be like, so his name never mattered, and now he's just one of them that's roped into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think it works as well as it does because we're seeing this unfold through Pocus's perspective, and he doesn't really know, other than it's funny, of course, but he doesn't really know that much about the demon either. I mean, aside from this pact that they had, and my take was always, and I think Alan would probably agree with this, that when the demon does appear at his door at the end of the first issue, it's as much of a surprise to Pocus as it is to us. And Pocus has not really had anything to do with this guy for many years, and has never particularly wanted to, until this development, which he then, of course, also sees as something of an opportunity to go and get his soul back. He reaches the moral threshold of things he can't do anymore.
Yeah, to kind of pivot a little,
souls for a demon, and then that's when he's like, okay, I'm done with all of it. I'm going to go stop this.
Yeah, and to kind of pivot a little bit, like going back to issue 6, no one has seen it yet. There's a demon that we introduce in issue 6 that Will should take all the credit for.
Oh man,
on this one, it's something else.
I almost said a few minutes ago I can't really talk about my favorite thing in this issue. Because I feel like it, even though it's closer to being revealed now, I still want it to have the element of surprise. But this issue unleashes a character that I have really, really been like holding back for a while, and so it's really exciting.
It's so stupid.
It's very stupid, but it's also very, very fun. I think that people will be charmed by this character as much as I was.
And how we made it fit into the story actually makes all the sense in the world too.
Okay.
It's I can't wait.
See, that's what I love about this. And why I love talking to you guys, because if you're excited, then we have to be excited.
Because your excitement and your passion absolutely comes through every word, every panel, every page.
Oh, wow.
So guys, like Pocus, like Will and I said, it's been a passion project. I mean, Grandma Chainsaw was definitely a passion project too, but this has just been our ongoing series, and it's something that we're so proud of. We always have amazing artists that want to be involved, that want to do covers for us, and we're just so happy with the outcome of everything.
Yeah, I'm just pleasantly surprised by it with each passing day, because I said for years that I would never, ever, ever in a million years be able to write a series or a serial. And the reason why I said that was because I'm much more of a character guy. And the idea of a series where, like, I'm thinking, and in my mind, of course, too, I was thinking of, like, episodes on television where it's like every episode is its own different story or its own growing story. And I was like, there in my mind, I was like, there is no way I could sustain something like this. And then we started writing Pocus Hocus, and it's like it just feels like one of the most effortless things I've ever worked on, just in terms of how everything comes together and flows. So it's been awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun coming along for the ride with y'all. I tell you that.
Thank you.
So Horus, let's talk about him for a little bit, because he's got his own thing kind of going on. In addition to the mainline series,
Oh yeah, he's a fan favorite for sure.
Yeah.
He absolutely is. I love that little pink bunny.
The script for Horus 3 is done, and it's already been sent over to Kit Wallace. So that will be next.
So that's the next
Yeah.
next one lined up.
It should be Horus 3. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sorry about the goofy grin on my face. You have
Yeah.
no idea how happy that makes me.
Man, I share it with Will whenever we get it. The craziest thing to me, and I guess I shouldn't say crazy. I don't know, is we get a lot of messages after each campaign for Horus, and it's from like parents that are like, "Hey, I read this with my kid and we love it." And it's just like, all right, hell yeah, man.
Yeah. That's cool. It's one of the great things about this world is that it really lends itself to going out in so many different directions and different tones, I guess, because I think Horus and Hell tonally, even though they're both outrageous dark comedies in ways, is different than Pocus Hocus. Horus is I've always told Alan that it reminds me, especially having Kit Wallace illustrating it in this very vibrant, incredible artwork, that it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Jonan Vasquez, like Invader Zim almost sort of thing, where it functions as a cartoon kind of feel about it that's really zany and unpredictable and fun. So that is a really fun series to write.
Yeah. And we cannot wait for Horus 3 because we get to introduce another character. I think that's the things that we love doing more than anything, is just creating these new characters because, in Horus 1 and Horus 2, you get to really meet Horus's brother Boris and figure out why we're here and why things are going down the way that they're going down. And then we get to meet another character in Horus 3 that I think people are genuinely going to like.
That's been one of the great things about both of these series, I think, is that you'd think that you'd get not tired, but you'd think you'd hit a wall at some point with developing new characters and bringing them in and incorporating them into a story. And we haven't. If anything, I think we're doing that more now than we were probably even with the first few issues.
Yeah. And I guess, Anthony, I can kind of see the look on your face a little bit. Yes, there are plans to continue Horus after Horus and Hell. The idea was, not to give too much away, but the next iteration is Horus in Heaven.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So
I was thinking that since issue 1 about that idea. So, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So Horus in Heaven, because we really want to play off the Divine Comedy is kind of what we were going for. So the next arc is going to be Horus in Heaven. There's going to be events that happen at the end of issue 4 that propel Horus further and up, I guess we should say.
All right.
Okay. All right. Very, very curious to see where that goes. What is the time frame on that? Is that going to be beginning of 25?
Well, I mean, as soon as issue 4 is done, we'll immediately start working on Horus.
I apologize then. Horus 3.
Horus 3. Yeah. That will be, I mean, as soon as Kit gets to it, he's a very busy man. So as soon as he gets to it, we'll be ready to go. We already have cover artists lined up, people that want to work on it because people just love that little bugger.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. What's going on? I know I ask you this all the time with Deacon Dan's famous chili.
That is going to be we're going to start that after this arc of Pocus. So after issue 8, we'll take a little bit of a breather to get everything ready for issue 9 through 12. And then, we're going to do Deacon Dan.
Yeah. The story on that, I think, has evolved, or the story in the Deacon Dan world has changed a little bit, but for the better. I mean, it's kind of whittled away all of the BS and kind of.
We trimmed the fat a lot on it.
Yeah. We trimmed a lot of fat off of it, and it focuses more on the things that I think people are going to be interested in. When I first had that idea, it was an idea for a really, really weird thing. And there's no way around it. I mean, it's eternally weird no matter what angle you look at it from. But now it's like, it's more focused is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, because we kind of have like it's what Sweeney Todd meets Dexter.
Yeah,
It's kind of what we're looking like.
yeah. That's the
Yeah.
best way I think you can describe it.
Yeah,
It's
and we originally had an idea for like this really long series for it, but I think we kind of landed on maybe like either a one shot or just a 2-issue series.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. And then what's it, Sunday morning?
Oh, one Sunday afternoon.
One
Yeah.
One Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. So one Sunday afternoon is going to be mine and Will's first graphic novel that we're going to do. And that will come after because Deacon Dan's going to be a little bit of a shorter thing, So that's why we wanted to go and just do Deacon Dan because it's going to be fun. It's exciting. But one Sunday afternoon is going to be a true crime. Of course, with us, it's going to be weird, supernatural, but it's going to be a detective story. And it's going to be a character study, descent into madness, all this kind of stuff. And this one's going to be a little bit more serious for us. So we definitely want to take our time with it. But we think this thing's going to be best told as a one shot. So that's why we really want to get it right and just put out one graphic novel for it.
Okay. Any time frame on that?
I mean, yeah, just after Deacon Dan.
Oh, after
Alrighty.
Deacon Dan. Okay.
Full
Yeah.
further, yeah.
Yeah,
Still further
we'll
down
be
the road,
whittling away on that one.
I think, well, yeah. I mean, I think too, since it's a little not out of our, well, yeah, I guess out of our comfort zone or out of what we've been doing. We want to make sure we give ourselves the appropriate time to like really, as Alan said, get it right.
All right. All right. And then Alan, this is more for you, but what's going on with the Herald?
Yeah, issue 2 is already done. Issue 3 has already been started. We'll be doing a small campaign for the Herald launching right after Pocus ends.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's already done. Lettered.
Okay, then.
Everything's. Yeah, we just got the main cover back, so yeah, it's ready to go.
Damn. All right. Ooh. Y'all aren't playing.
Yeah.
And shout out to Will too. Got that novella going.
Ooh.
And thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still super, it's so I don't have the words. I don't. I just don't. Although Alan helped me, he did majorly actually because I got kind of stuck near the end, and it needed to pick me up. And he didn't know anything about it. I texted him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I know this is weird, but I've been working on a novella for 2 years, and I'm going to describe to you this scenario that I'm working on, and it is completely out of its mind and bizarre. And I understand that that's the point, but if you have anything to add to this or and I explained it to him and he gave me some really, really good feedback. And looking back on that sequence in the draft, it's entirely that conversation with him is what propelled it forward. Because I mean, I would probably still be picking away at it if it weren't for that. But yeah, I've worked on it for 2 years and I have a draft and I'm hoping to find an editor and really start trying to make it into something worthwhile to read. It's 2,100 words or excuse me, 21,000 words and about 115 pages. So
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know a couple of editors, that are also writers and such. So if you're looking for names, let me know. I can at the very least shoot them over to you if and when you're ready for that point. And
Yeah,
then you can kind of hash things out from there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's thank you. I appreciate that.
One of them is actually Erica Schultz. She's a regular on the show. She's a comic writer. I don't know if it's just a straight prose, but I know, she's a writer and an editor. So
very cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I'll pass along the name.
I almost completely abandoned it. And a friend of mine, well, Alan and another friend of mine helped me rescue it. So, I have a draft done. I want to participate. I'm thinking about participating in NaNoWriMo in November, which would be an entirely different project. That would actually be novel length and it would be a vampire story. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that, but I don't know. That's a huge commitment. And I've already got all this. I've got work. And then, of course, the stuff Alan and I are working on. Mm-hmm. So I don't know fully if I'm going to invest in that yet, but it's something I'm thinking about, in which case this would probably take a back seat for a minute to work on that. But yeah, thank you for that. I will keep that in mind for sure, because I'm going to need one of those, an editor, definitely this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know that, Doc and I have bandied around the idea of a graphic novel, and I've got a bunch of ideas floating. And it's funny, you mentioned NaNoWriMo. I've actually been thinking about using that as kind of like a driving thing to do during NaNoWriMo is finally putting words to paper or Google Doc, as it were, and starting to actually write it down and flesh it out. And it's, every time I talk to you guys, I always end up leaving the interview going, man, I really got to start writing, because I talk to you and you just
because if these idiots can do it, anyone can do it.
Well, yeah. Keep in mind, it took me 2 years to work on this thing, and it was not the process that it is with Alan and I. It was not effortless. It was not always fun. I don't know. That's not true. I had a lot of fun writing it, or else I never would have finished it. But it really helps having that sort of additional that other person to bounce ideas off of.
Oh, it's crazy. Like Will, you described it before. Whenever you and I are writing together, it's the energy in the room is it's great.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like writing is the thing, which is what's so great about it. Because oftentimes when you write, you sit in a dark room and you're completely quiet. These sort of sessions that we do, there's like a whole world that just comes to life, and all you do is sort of transcribe that onto the page. So it's really, it's a great thing. Finding a writing partner is rare, because usually writers, even if they're both writers, have completely different views on things, and it doesn't mesh. But this one has, so.
Well, that's awesome. And Doc and I have chatted about our respective thoughts and ideas on the story, and it's something we kind of come up with together. So it's not just one or the other; it's collective, and it's very much in the Capes on the Couch brand
space.
And that space. So we're looking forward to putting that together at some point and presenting that in a format that the world can go, oh, okay, this is something that y'all have been working on, and taken and made physical and made real.
Yeah, I think you guys should, and I mean, if you do get together and work on it, let us know. We will promote the hell out of it. And,
always.
Yeah, I would love to look and see what you guys come up with. I had a friend one time who told me that when it comes to creativity and those who are perceived as good versus those who are not, so much of it boils down to taste. That if you have a sense, so the idea is that like, you have good taste, you already have the skill set that can then be either improved or developed or whatever you want to call it. And I know just from talking to you guys that you would do a kick-ass project for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the few times that, I'll be blunt, I don't ever really talk about it outside of this space, and yet at work, I'm not even joking about this. There were a couple of times I had to respond to some things like clinically and stuff, and I got a cold, like just a random contact at work, not in the comic space or anything, just said like, why are you not a writer?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. I'm like, you guys don't know about the background, please. I have eternal guilt about this.
Yeah.
Manifest in real life situation. Yeah, it's becoming external guilt through other people. Yeah.
Yeah. So wrapping this up, then obviously we're going to have links to the Kickstarter. Speaking of the Kickstarter, what are some of the fun, aside from the old typical catch up on all the prior stuff? What are some of the other incentives that you've got going on?
Yeah. So the big thing, of course, we've been trying to simplify everything, just get back to basics. So right now, from where we took a year and a half off from doing a Pocus campaign, we just wanted to really focus on hey, anyone can jump back in, all this stuff. But the most important tier to us, and it's kind of crazy whenever I actually look at it. So we have a tier on here called the Pocus Verse. And we're actually, I think that's kind of it put everything into perspective, because we're starting to create a world now. So we have, it's a tier with Pocus 1 through 6, and it also Horus 1 and 2. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy.
I think there's probably an argument to be made that to say that everything we've worked on up until this point probably takes place in the Pocus verse.
Yeah.
To some degree, even Grandma Chainsaw. I mean, it's removed from all that, but I don't know. Pocus verse is kind of where it all started.
Yeah.
Well, That's really cool to look at it that way. As I said, I'm a day one backer. I went with all the covers, and then I think there was one add-on. I don't remember.
You got the limited hollow foil.
Yes, that's it.
Well, somebody's memory is not going with age. So, Alan, I don't know what your secret is, but
maybe maybe it's just Maybelline.
Do what?
Maybe I'm born with it, or maybe it's just Maybelline.
Okay. There.
Boom.
I will. For now, I will accept that answer. Okay. That's.
It goes until Saturday, November 9th at 10:30 Eastern in the morning. So this episode will come out before then, depending on how the editing goes. But at the very least, it will drop with enough time before the campaign ends. So, gentlemen, pleasure as always chatting with you. Where can folks find y'all on the internet?
Yeah, you can just find me on Twitter at Chaps of Fury. And of course, follow us on our Substack. It's thetophatstudios.substack.com.
And then anything else individually that you want to promote or?
Will, where can everyone find you first?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say, I don't have Instagram. WillRad82 is my Instagram. So that's where I'm at currently. Also, if you'd like to check out, any of my film or video work, that's on vimeo.com/WillRad.
But yeah, just as far as other projects are concerned, I mean, we're always going to be up to something, and just stay tuned, because I think 2025 is going to be good. Like, I thought 2024 was going to be great, but I think 2025 is also going to be a lot of fun, man.
Can't wait. And I think 2025 is going to be a good year for Capes as well. So, as always, you can find all of our episodes, including all the myriad times that we've spoken with Alan and or Will on our website, capesonthecouch.com. They literally have their own subsection category of the Creators on the Couch, specifically devoted to Alan and Will episodes. You can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at Capes on the Couch. And a special shout out to all of our new followers who found us and are following us after our successful panel at DerpyCon, where we talked about Discord from My Little Pony. That episode will be hitting your feeds relatively soon. We've got some other creator stuff lined up. The Colleagues on the Couch as well. We're going to be kicking that off very, very soon. I'm finishing the one episode, and then we've got a couple others that we're working on coordinating and trying to schedule with some of the colleagues. You can shoot us an email at capesonthecouch@gmail.com. And if you really like what you hear, you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/capesonthecouch, where you can unlock early access, additional stuff, uncensored material, and so much more. So thank you again, Alan and Will. As always, a pleasure chatting with you, gents. Doc, anything you want to add before we head out?
Oh, just always a pleasure. I don't have anything super witty to say, because these two gentlemen really bring it with everything that they do.
Well,
absolutely.
Thank you guys. I think I speak for Alan also when I say we love talking to you, and it's our pleasure to do that. So thank you.
Yep, 100%.
Yep. Whenever I see something going on, as soon as I saw that, I was like, new Kickstarter. All right, let me text Alan, find out when we can get these guys on. So thank you, gents. For Alan Dunford and Will Radford, and for my co-host, Doc Issues, I'm Anthony Sitko. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.